Anime fans, One Piece fans, what's good? The answer to that question, of course, is One Piece. One Piece is what's good. Whole Cake Island gets way too much hate. And today, I will be explaining to you why the Whole Cake Island happened and why it was necessary for the One Piece story.
I can do it on my own, but sometimes it gets cold like...
Now, I understand that the Whole Cake Island arc kinda came out of left field. Like, we were all expecting Wano after Zou, and suddenly Sanji got kidnapped and we were going to Whole Cake Island. We kind of expected Whole Cake Island to happen after Wano or something like that, because we knew Luffy would go against Big Mom eventually, but we were more expecting it after Wano, because Wano seemed to be right after Zou, the way they were setting it up, and a lot of people were annoyed that we weren't going to Wano, and instead, we were going for like 2 years to Whole Cake. But I do believe this arc was necessary to the story and had to happen, or didn't necessarily have to happen, but it was very important to the expanse of the story as a whole. Cake. So let's just get into this. So basically, the first thing Whole Cake did was develop Sanji as a character. So a lot of people were angry about the whole Sanji thing. We thought he'd get some huge power up and do a lot of cool things, but basically his biggest feat was a cooking feat, which was still cool, but we wanted some fighting feat. He did end up getting the raid suit, but a lot of people didn't even like that because they wanted him to have his own power. But of course, I just thought, personally, the Vince Smoke shouldn't have been there if Sanji wasn't gonna get a raid suit. Like, they did his backstory, but if they all had raid suits, I just felt like Sanji should have gotten the raid suit, and it was good that he did. But that's beside the point. Sanji, the reason for Whole Cake, in terms of himself, for his character, that was his defining moment. Like, Robin, she joined the Straw Hats, but then Enna's Lobby was the defining moment where she completely was with Luffy and would never, ever do anything like what she did and try to betray him to save him, kind of thing, like what Sanji did, kind of betraying Luffy to save him. But that was Sanji's defining moment, that after this, Sanji will never have another waver again. This was Sanji's I am a Straw Hat moment. We thought that moment was more of the Sea Barati, but its final phase was Whole Cake, and Sanji was completely developed by that, and now he won't be wavering or trying to leave the Straw Hats ever again, no matter the circumstances. Another thing Whole Cake did was flesh out the Minks. Now, we knew about the Minks and we knew they were strong because of when we saw them fighting Jack in the Beast Pirates, but at that point, we still weren't completely sure how strong Jack was because we'd seen Doflamingo, but it wasn't until the Cracker fight that we saw how strong a third commander level was. That will be another point later on, but as far as we were concerned, Doflamingo could have been anywhere from first commander to third commander level because we didn't have a lot of things to compare him against. So the Minks were fleshed out in Whole Cake, because even though we saw them fighting Jack, we knew Jack had a big bounty, but we weren't completely sure how strong this guy was. He didn't seem as strong as Doflamingo or something like that. So when Carrot and Pedro went to Whole Cake, we were kind of seeing how strong a strong Mink was. They weren't the strongest Minks, but they weren't the weakest Minks either. And especially Carrot, we were kind of just able to see how strong just a strong Mink is. That just kind of gave us a whole picture of the Minks as a whole and their power levels and power scale. Okay, so I've told you it fleshed out Sanji, it fleshed out the Minks. I think we can all agree on that. But what I'm about to say is the most important reason, and the main reason why I made this video, so please watch this point to the end, it's a bit long. The biggest reason for Whole Cake Island was to show us the power of a Yonko and a Yonko crew and to flesh it out. Now, hold on, I know you guys will be like, Blue Pineapple Phoenix, what are you talking about? That was Marineford. Marineford showed us the power of Whitebeard, the Whitebeard Pirates. And yes, that was true, but more what I'm trying to say is Whole Cake showed us the power of an evil Yonko. So we'd seen about 2 or 3 other Yonkos, if you want to count Blackbeard as a Yonko when we saw him before later on in the story, but we'd seen Shanks and Whitebeard, and I think Shanks and Whitebeard can be considered good Yonkos, at least at this point. So when Whitebeard met Luffy, Whitebeard had no animosity toward Luffy, and he had no intention of harming Luffy or displaying his power against Luffy. We only saw Whitebeard fight against other top tiers. We saw him wreck a giant, of course. We saw him wreck John Giant, I believe it was. But then at the same time, Luffy with Gear 3rd could have wrecked that giant as well. So it wasn't like that was the most impressive thing. And then we saw him fighting the Admiral, so we only had Whitebeard to compare against the top tiers, and same with the rest of the Yonko crews. The rest of his Yonko crew, like his commanders, we saw them fighting other strong marines. But at Whole Cake Island, like what I said earlier, when Cracker fought Luffy, that defined right there, this is how strong a 3rd commander is supposed to be. And we were able to peg guys like Doflamingo and Jozu, and even Jack, to being around that level. And we defined in our minds, this is a 3rd commander. We didn't get to see much of Smoothie, but we were able to peg Smoothie as 2nd commander most likely because of her bounty. I know a lot of people say that Smoothie is super weak, but like I made a whole video why Smoothie is strong. I believe Smoothie is one of the strongest 2nd commanders. We didn't get to see a ton of 2nd commanders, but I think Smoothie is pretty strong. And then Katakuri. So Katakuri completely and utterly showed us what a first hand is supposed to be. So before the Katakuri fight, we were all like, well, Luffy in Gear 4th. So I know a lot of people were saying Luffy in Gear 4th was stronger than Marco, and that Marco would get destroyed by Gear 4th, or Doflamingo is practically Admiral level. But once the Katakuri fight showed up, we saw what a 1st commander is, how strong the 1st commander is, and that Admirals are stronger than this, so we knew Doflamingo wouldn't have stood a chance against Fujitora. Doflamingo probably wouldn't beat Katakuri, he might give him a run for his money, at least for a little bit, but he would not be able to defeat Katakuri. This showed us the power of a 1st hand and what they are, and same with the 3rd hands, and we were able to peg 2nd hand in the middle of those two, and then 4th hand we didn't really get to see it, but we were kind of able to say this is a bit weaker than 3rd hand. So that was basically what that was for. It just showed us the power of a Yonko crew, what a Yonko crew is supposed to be. And it was able to be a balancer and a power scale for the rest of the verse. And it did the same thing with Yonkos. Now we saw Whitebeard, and we saw Whitebeard do all those things, but he had no animosity toward Luffy, as I was saying. Big Mom was a Yonko with hatred toward Luffy, with hatred toward the world, and she wanted to destroy things. And we saw a full power of a Yonko against Luffy. Because we'd seen Luffy against Fujitora, and I guess he did fairly well, so we knew he wasn't as strong as an Admiral. But Big Mom, her rampage and the power she displayed, I know a lot of people ignored it because she kind of got turned into a meme, because of all the plot armor that Luffy used to escape her. But still, we saw the whole power of an angry, evil Yonko, which is what Blackbeard and Kaido and Big Mom are. And this had a lasting impact on the story, because we saw this is what a Yonko is. We saw Whitebeard and we saw Shanks, but we didn't even get to see them go all out or use a ton of their power, and we didn't get to see them do anything crazy and anything with bad intent. When Big Mom went on her whole rampage, we were able to see this is what most Yonko are like, and it was able to be a balancer for Wano. That's what I've been leading up to. Whole Cake Island was a balancer for Wano, is what I'm trying to say. It was a precursor to the Wano, which showed us and what gave us even higher expectations for Wano. So when we knew Wano was coming, we were all like, great, Luffy's gonna fight a Yonko, this is gonna be great. But we didn't have a lot of things to balance Wano against and to compare Wano against. So if we just went up and we saw Wano, we saw all the characters in Wano, it would be cool, but we still wouldn't completely know what a Yonko crew was supposed to be like, what a Yonko was supposed to be like, because the other Yonkos we've seen are nice, and they weren't anything evil. Like, if Whitebeard went against Luffy in a battle, that would be enough, but he didn't really do that. He only went against other top tiers. But because of Whole Cake Island, we had expectations. The Beast Pirates Yonko crew must be at least as strong as the Big Mom Pirates crew. Kaido must be at least as strong as Big Mom. And this was just a balancer and a comparison scale. So now, when we went to Wano, we had expectations for Wano that were realistic and weren't just out of our own headcanon. We were comparing them against the Big Mom Pirates, and that is why it was in the story. That's why Whole Cake Island was necessary. To flesh out the Minks, to flesh out Sanji, but most importantly, to flesh out what a Yonko and a Yonko crew is, and to flesh out Wano, and to be a comparison for Wano, so we would know what exactly to expect at Wano. We would have a bar. It wouldn't just be a bunch of, oh, some vaguely strong or stronger than weaker than Whitebeard guy with some commanders who must be at least as strong as Ace. It was nothing like that. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, and only if you enjoy my content, like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more One Piece content. I will see you in the next video.